from darkness to light. Now, as Omji said, that we are all educated. We all have several accomplishments, several degrees. As I heard, there are several PhDs here. But what I'd like to throw light on is that this knowledge, what we are going to discuss, what I'm here to share, is different in kind. It's not different, there's no difference in degree. When you talk about difference in degree, it is a similar knowledge. Whether you get A plus or A minus or B plus or B minus, that's difference in degree. But when it's difference in kind, it's a different knowledge altogether. So we have about 45 minutes, and someone needs to check in the Hindu temple that the time is wrong, 10:30. I don't know who's monitoring the time here, but there's a record. My guru has a record. For the last 70 years, he has never been late in. I have a record for the last 27 years. Has never been late anywhere. Never. So the time needs to be changed. Anyway, I've got the right time now. I've given 45 minutes. I'm notorious not only to start in time, I'm even more notorious to stop. And that's the discipline. Just the other day, they told me to address the youth. And they said, where's the gentleman? He's not here, our president. He's bunked.
He may come later.
He may come late. I think his wife must have held him up. He said, sir, I met him, very thanks to Omji, very kind of him. I went there and he said, sir, we are having a youth gathering tomorrow. Instead of me speaking, why don't you speak? And he said, is 10 minutes enough? I said, 3 minutes is enough. So he said, no, sir, 10 minutes because I'm going to give you my time. I said, fair enough. When I go next day, as I'm going on the stage, the organizer there is saying, sir, you have only 6 minutes. So I said, okay, I have 6 minutes. 6 minutes started and stopped. Anyway, let's get going. The word ignorance in Latin, it comes from the word ignorantia. Ignorantia means, does anybody know? What does it mean? Simple, not knowing. And the word knowledge in English, it means, hang on, getting excellent. See, you're right, PhDs. Any other word you can think of, knowing is one thing, but what comes before knowing? Any other word? Who said that? Excellent. Are you a mathematician? Excellent. Awareness. Now, these 45 minutes, we're going to quickly cover how we could move from ignorance to light, how we can move from darkness to light, ignorance to knowledge. How you convert ignorance to knowledge is when you don't know something, you say, I do not know. And that first factor of ignorance, when you say, I do not know, you cover it with listening, hearing, reading. It's called in Sanskrit Shravana. So when you have Shravana, you listen. You listen to a master, you listen to a discourse, you listen to a teacher, you listen to a adhyapak. I thought, of course, there's such a distinguished audience, but I think the average age would be 65 here, 65. So when I saw one young man there, I said, no, not that, you're all there, but this knowledge needs to be, taught to the youngsters. And that young man also was walking out. I said, where are you going? He said, no, sir, I'm taking prasad and come. I was looking for him, he's right there. And why are you hiding? Don't hide, come. Yes, don't hide. So, when you don't know something, you learn it through listening or hearing or reading a textbook. Then you say, I know now. So Shravana covers that. You may know, but then you say, I don't have you say, what do I do? Then you do manana. Manana means reflection. You reflect upon it. Just merely having knowledge doesn't make you a scholar. You may have knowledge, but you could be equated to a pandit. But you need to reflect upon it. You need to break it down. Just as when you eat food, you chew food, you break food down. And when you reflect upon it, then you say, now I have the experience. Then the third aspect is, you don't understand. The second aspect was you don't understand. But the third aspect covers understanding and experience. The second aspect only covers understanding. Third aspect covers understanding and experience. And what is that experience? It is called Nidhi Dhyasa. Nidhi Dhyasa means when that knowledge converts into wisdom, you actually live it. You actually act upon it. Otherwise, it is just gourd bars on a mule's back. You may know everything. But when someone asks you, how was Prayag's discourse? Oh, fantastic. See, generally it happens in Vedanta. Day before yesterday, I was taken. Here I was very enthused to speak because the lecture is before the meal. I'm so happy. It was before the meal. And that too to an Indian audience. Day before yesterday, they made me speak exactly after lunch, they put the lecture. And they had a good sorted lunch and 20 of them were sleeping, but I told them, I won't allow you to sleep because my voice is very powerful. They were trying, they're keeping awake. So, no chance. When I read that, I asked Shivamji, Omji, that the lecture is before the meal. I was happy. Because I was also happy that after lecture, even I'll get to eat food. You understand? So, this is how you convert knowledge to wisdom. Now, what you must understand is, you may say, that why is he telling us all these things? It's because humans as we are, the only thing a human requires is choice of action. No animal requires a choice of action. No animal requires their eating habits, their mating habits, their sleeping habits. It's perfect. But humans, nothing perfect. Animals come with a built-in chip. Everything is predestined. Everything is fixed. But humans as we are, nothing is fixed. This young lady sitting here, bet she's going to grow up. Hello. You are to choose. You're sitting with your dad. Where's your mom? Sorry? Oh. She has to choose. This young lady here, she has to choose. This young man there, I'm sure he has to choose now. What university to go? Whether to be a vegetarian or non-vegetarian. You all have already chosen. Because I was going to say whether to get married or not married. Everybody's married here. There's no choice. But you got to choose. With what do you choose? Anyone? How do you choose? What makes you choose? It's an interactive talk. What makes you choose? Way to Arson's house. Knowledge, experience, wisdom. Good. Exposure to the sun. Someone says, sir, exposure to the sun. It's a lovely day. All that I'm hearing is, Praji, you've got great weather. Fantastic. They're not happy I've come. They say, you've got great weather. They have motives. But Chicago is like a deep freezer. You got great weather. Don't go. I said, for why? No, because you bring great weather. See, I'm not here to make scholars. The body, please see the screen. The human body, just at this moment, just look at left hand side. Don't look at the right hand side. The human body, your body, my body, any human, this body is driven by two equipments. The mind and the intellect. Forget the intellect, just look at the mind. The mind is full of emotions. The mind is full of feelings, impulses, emotions such as greed, jealousy, which is negative, envy, positive emotions such as love, devotion, empathy, sympathy, charity. Therefore, yesterday someone asked me, Praji, you talk about charity, but tell me, how do I be charitable at home? One lady asked me, yesterday in fact she asked me, how do I be charitable at home? I said, do you talk too much? She said, yes. I said, keep quiet. That's the only way you do charity. Secondly, I said, simple thing what you can do is, she said, no, give me more practical. See, this is a little impractical. She told me that on my face. Give me something very practical. I said, don't need to do big, big things. After you finish ironing a steam iron, ensure that the water is topped up. Are you all with me? Here everybody does the ironing, including me. I've done my ironing. My host is telling me, Guruji, I did everything for you, except I didn't do one thing. Kananji, she's a lovely lady. Where's Kananji? Kananji, where is she? Please stand up, Kananji. She's a lovely. Please give her a big hand. She's done a lot of seva. She said, I've got everything for you except one thing. I couldn't iron. I said, thank God, because I'm very particular about ironing. But then she said, no, because my hand was fractured. So every time I left the iron, I topped it up with the water full. And you may say, what a stupid example. Charity, you don't have to do big, big things. Simple things. Just simple things. So the body by itself cannot act. The mind is that which has feelings, emotions, impulses, likes and dislikes. Raga, dvesha. You like this, you dislike that. We dislike that, we like this. Then you indulge. The mind is such, you indulge in something. Indulgence is not enjoyment. Indulgence is minus enjoyment. It takes your enjoyment down. And the mind gets involved in everything. So now if you got to decide whether you want to follow the mind, Vedanta doesn't say, the philosophy doesn't say that you ought not to follow the mind. You have feelings. We need feelings. We need emotions. You have to follow your likes. But what Vedanta says is the mind needs to be monitored. The mind needs guidance. And the only way, like I said, animals don't need guidance. Humans need guidance. But the only way you can have guidance is this equipment which we have and which has been lost for ages and ages. Everybody has this equipment. It is called buddhi. Now you can look on the right hand side. It's the intellect. The intellect is that which thinks, reasons, judges, decides. It's absolutely alert. It's objective. Anything happens is objective. Thinks. Nobody is thinking. Just because we have gone to a school, a university, education, that doesn't mean that makes you think. Thinking is an art. Thinking is a technique. I've gone to the best of schools, best of education. I was supposed to go to Oxford. I've got a letter from them that you will come and you will lead the cricket team in Oxford. But unfortunately, I couldn't go because I was the only male member. So if I had gone there, I would become very intelligent. But that does not encourage thinking. Thinking is a special art. It's a skill. And the intellect is that faculty in you which helps you guide your emotions. It does not make you emotional. Emotions are a virtue, but being emotional is a crime. That's what the intellect does. So, therefore, friends, before we go forward, with what are we acting? How are we solving the problems? Albert Einstein says, we cannot, look at the board. I'm not making you scholars, please. I'm quoting Western philosophers so that you don't think this is some Indian coming here and giving Indian philosophy. But even Westerners, Western top scientists, Western brilliant minds, brilliant intellects have a word. We cannot solve problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Albert Einstein. Now we want to solve problems, personal problems, or community problems, or other problems, or the nation. How can you solve the problem? You can't solve it with the same thinking. Shivam, which created that? How can you do that? So as a result, since the intellect is neglected, we have all sorts of issues in the world. The world is a beautiful place. I'm glad that I'm talking to such people here who have contributed something not only to themselves but to the society. But I urge you, my humble respect, that please continue giving your knowledge. Please continue giving your experience in some form or the other. Never ever retire. Bhagavad Gita says, Karyam karma karotiha sas sannyasi sa yogi cha. You ought to do your karyam karma. Who's the sannyasi? Who's the yogi? One who performs his duty, his obligations. So, just because the body has become a little slow, but the mind and intellect has to engage with people, has to engage with youngsters, so that you can train them in some way or the other. So therefore, friends, now we'll analyze that how do we go about. See, do you know what is, I don't think any Indian understands what depression is. I really don't understand that. I don't think anybody here is depressed. I can know from their faces. The lady is smiling. But the man is not smiling. Now he started smiling. Now he started smiling.
Actually, he's a professor of depression.
He's a professor report. I don't think anybody here knows what depression is. No, I don't think any Indian. No, I'm not saying Western is something wrong with that. But I don't think any Indian. And even if you want to get depressed, our wives will not allow us to get depressed. No chance. Even if you want to, even if you're quiet one day, what happened? Today you're very quiet. Achha, you're not talking? You're doing some acting? See, you know what is the best marriage? What is the best marriage between who? Anyone? You all know that? A couple. Madam?
Opposites.
Opposites. What is that opposites?
One
You said it so sweetly. Opposites. What are the opposites?
who talks and one who talk.
See, Shivan can complete that. A moment that said marriage, he's like fumbling. Your wife is here? No wonder. What is the best, the couple whose best marriage is between whom?
Compatibility.
Compatibility. Excellent. Anyone?
Marriage is nothing but the matching of thoughts.
Excellent. Matching of thoughts. He's another PhD here. Marriage is nothing but the matching of thoughts. Marriage, the best marriage is between a deaf husband and a blind wife. I read what is big things, though. Big words, compatibility, matching of thoughts, this, that. Marriage, the best marriage is between a deaf husband and a blind wife. He can't hear anything, she can't see anything. That's the best marriage. That's it. So, who's depressed? See this. Depression is a common mental disorder. We're not happy about it. We don't want to laugh about it. But I'm telling you all, I don't think you all can ever get depressed. Globally, more than 264 million people of all ages suffer from depression. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide and is a major contributor to the overall global burden of diseases. That's why in America, the most successful business is what? Shrink? No, shrink is even they are depressed. No shrink. Don't go to a shrink. Even the shrink is depressed. You know how I know? Because they come to us. What is the most successful business? Say that's what. A pharmacy person talk. You see? I was waiting for him to talk. These guys are too smart. They left India. See, Indians are too smart. They said this America will be depressed. Let us go. He started a pharmacy. He's a pharmacy king. Here. Pills and pills and pills and pills. At the age of 11, oh, I'm feeling low. At the age of, oh, I'm feeling a little low. I'm feeling high. What? Low, high? But it's a fact. It is a fact. And philosophers as we are not happy about it. We want to do something for the youth. We want to do something for our youngsters. So if we can contribute. So, more women, now this is the only thing I don't agree with. More women are affected by depression than men. No, it's a fact. Sorry?
Cause depression.
Madam, don't say it. Thank God you said that. I will never say that. Depression can lead to suicide. Now, my friends, this is what we need to, and this is WHO 2019. Where are we? 2023. Now, 264 million would have become 300 million. We're not happy about it.
It is already that now.
It is already that number? As a professor. Thank you. It's already that number. I'll keep you up that. I want the stats. So, my friends, what we need to understand is the cause of suffering. This is what we need to analyze. I'm not here to make you scholars because I'm here for your blessings. You're already there's such an august company here. So many people who are qualified. But I'm just here to share what I've learned. And when I joined Vedanta at the age of 21, I thought, why didn't I come to this field at the age of 14? I should have come here at the age of 14, 13. Then I knew what Gurukuls were. Gurukuls were those schools where children used to come at the age of 8 and leave at the age of 18. That's where they became accomplished men. So, what we are here to analyze is what causes suffering. Why are we suffering? That's what you need to understand here. And unfortunately, in the Gita, as the Gita says, whatever is nectar in the beginning becomes poison in the end. And whatever is poison in the beginning becomes nectar in the end. When you are in the world without this knowledge, without Vedanta. The Bhagavad Gita says whatever is Amritam in the beginning, when you are in the world, everything is Amritam. In the beginning becomes nectar, Visham in the end. Poison. And what is Visham? What is like Visham in the beginning? Poison in the beginning becomes nectar in the end. Unfortunately. What do we choose? All of us, what are we going to choose? So, therefore, let's analyze. See, the body, what should you do with the body to counter suffering? From darkness to light, from ignorance to knowledge. What are we supposed to do with the body? See, the body, as I said, see, do you know what is the only organ or what is the only equipment in the body which does not age?
Brain.
Mind. The brain also is gone. Dementia, Alzheimer's. What else? The only thing. Soul is everywhere. Soul is not is there in your body, is there outside also? Who said that soul? It's correct. It's there inside. You're not wrong. But it's there inside, is there outside? The organ is an organ. It's an equipment in your body. It doesn't age. Are the most powerful equipments in the body, or the most powerful organs in the body, which doesn't age, and it's causing destruction after destruction. Mouth? Mouth also is. Where's your mouth? Arey sir, you've not shaved and you're saying mouth. Nice, you are a clean shaver. Whose mouth? You're right. You've come near. What else? Brain. Which? Because there's a brain drain in India, therefore you find all Indians here. Come on, one youngster. What doesn't age? The nose? Arey madam, what? Should I ask your husband if his age is or not? No, he's already said that. See, one person here, if he answers that, hats off, your life will change. Huh? Heart is gone. Buddhi also, no, Buddhi, you're right. But in the organ, thinking also, but it's an organ. Liver. Tongue. Oh yeah. Now this very was, I had this answer, Guruji, but I didn't ignore. Tongue. The tongue is the only organ. I don't know whether you call it an organ. You can't call it an equipment. But a facet, an aspect of you, which does not age. And this tongue has created destruction. We come to temples. I don't want to ask you, I don't want to embarrass you. But how many of you are vegetarians? And we are calling ourselves Hindu Satsang Sabha. Tell yourself, don't tell me. That 2.5 inches of tongue, destroying millions and billions of preachers. I'm not here to tell you what you should eat. I'm only saying what it is. And forget about eating. What does it create? One sharp statement, one argument, it lacerates other people with wounds. And those wounds can never get filled. That tongue. That it doesn't age. Sorry? People tense now? Still there. So, what you must understand is that through the body, let's start with the body, let's start with food. Please learn one thing. The food should never consume you. Food should never eat you. You should be eating the food. Get yourself, again it comes under likes and dislikes. First thing I spoke to Omji, he is a super ghost, I'm telling you. Pragji, we made hot pakodas. I said, gone my waistline. Abhai, hot pakodas I'm going to give you. I maintain a particular waistline.
The picnic of Hindu Satsang.
Hindu Satsang. See, Hindu Satsang. So, you got to eat whatever you need to eat, but you got to make sure that the food does not consume you. You should consume the food. Food itself should be the medicine. Don't eat the food and eat medicine with them. And as far as your actions go, whatever you do, you must have a goal in life. Your body should not just go according to your likes and dislikes. Whatever age you have a goal. Function for something. That's your obligation. Something higher in life. Therefore, yesterday I met a lady. She said, "Oh, Guruji, so nice to meet you. I am a part of various charitable organizations." So I didn't say anything. I just said, yes. In Chicago. Yesterday. But do you have any advice for me, Guruji? Because then she started, all these organizations are getting very, very commercial. Very commercial.
But Hindu satsang is not.
Hey, Baba, I am not talking on Hindi. He is guilty. Therefore, he talks about Hindu satsang in the case. I had to ask the other people, not him, whether it's commercial or not. I'm sure it's not commercial. Then I told her, Madam, are you working? She said, yes, sir, I'm working. I said, I'm not saying don't be a part of any charitable organizations, but why don't you do charity in your work? In your work. Help people in your work. If you help people in your work, you will not have any time to be a part of any member for anything. So, with the body, you fix a goal and act. With the mind, you must understand one thing is today the darkness which has caused the mind is causing all the darkness. All the relationships are skewed. When people, some youngsters, therefore I asked the youngster, so how come you chose him? And I asked him, how did you choose her? He said, sir, and everybody around the world, I travel everywhere, they say, oh, we are very similar. Huh? We are very similar. There's no such thing as similar. Huh? It's not similar. Before marriage, they say that. We're very similar. He likes tennis, I like tennis. After marriage, he goes for golf, I like tennis. See, learn when you are in a partnership, when you are in a marriage, find out how you can serve your partner. What can I do for my partner rather than what can I take from my partner? Love is not a reflection of yourself in the mirror. You need to see yourself through a glass, not the mirror. When you see yourself through a mirror, you are only loving yourself. In your wife, you are loving yourself. In your child, you are loving yourself. In your granddaughter. Latest here is granddaughter, grandson. My grandson, my granddaughter. My grandson, my granddaughter. See, why I am asking all to be evil with the body, you have to act like Gita says. Because, see, some of you all, I address 3 congregations of retired people. They come to a center, and some of them are relatively young because the children are busy. So you need to take care of yourself. If the children come, well and good. So therefore you need to keep yourself in good humor. You need to keep yourself in good, well and fit. Suppose something happens to you, then what? You should tell yourself, if my child comes, well and good. It's a bonus. But if it doesn't come, all the best. Blessings to them. Never expect. This is love. Love through the glass, not through the mirror. Even if your son, even if your daughter, even if your wife disagrees with you, still love. You respect that decision. Anything needs to be corrected, can't be corrected, provided they come to you. See, that's why relationships getting destroyed. Divorce. What is the divorce rate here? What is the divorce rate in India? It's picking up there also. Couples don't talk. They talk through me. Rajji, ask him. They call me for a meal, and suddenly I see there is something different. The wife is saying, there's something funny. You get that. Then I understand. We are very smart. We understand. Then I said, what happened? You're not shocking? No, Rajji, ask him what he did day before yesterday. So I asked him, what did you do day before yesterday? No, sir, you, thank God you're there. Now I can talk. You ask her what she did the day before that. What is going on? So what do I do? Yes, Mama, what do you do? And then what did you do? Then what did you do? It's like a tennis ball match going on. What do you do? What do you do? See, there was a strange funeral. Husband, wife, almost fighting. But this funeral, one day what happened? A husband and the wife, they had an argument, and this guy said, I don't want to be a part of any negativity. I want to just go out for a walk. Strange funeral. So as he was walking, he saw a funeral. Mayat. In Hindi they say, Mayat Jayad. Urdu they say, Mayat. Thank you. He's a great scholar of words. No, really. I'm not joking. So, when he saw that, Shivam lot of people in the line. So, when he went to ask, who's the person? As we Indians, we can't keep quiet. There also, what's happening? Who's passed away? We can't keep quiet. We want to know. So, that other person, there was a huge, and strangely, no ladies go for a funeral in India. But Sometimes now that is also happening, but the women's lib have come in India also. Even we will go. He said, go. But strangely for this funeral, only men were going. So when he asked this man, what happened? Who's dead? He said, why? Who asked the person in front? Then he went to the person in front. What happened? Who passed it? Asked the person in front. Asked the person in front. Finally, that man reached the person in front. And he said, Master, what happened? Who's passed away? He said, my wife and very, very sad, and my mother-in-law. Oh, okay, that I understand. Acha, these two people I'm so sorry, sir. Wife and mother-in-law. He said, yes, they passed away. He said, can I ask you a question, sir? He said, yes, sir, ask me. Why are you holding the dog? He said, because of this dog. He jumped on my wife and he mauled my wife, and to save her daughter, my mother-in-law jumped and he killed my wife and my mother-in-law. To which that man said, can I have this dog? He said, join the queue. Join the queue. Why do you want anybody to pass away? You want someone to pass away because your relationship is not in proper repair. And your relationships can be in proper repair and healthy only when you want to give something. As far as the intellect goes, the intellect is that aspect. How it converts darkness to light is by thinking, by breaking down your knowledge. And how you must understand this. See, you may say, what are we exposed to? Why do we need to be exposed to our shastras? Why do we need to be exposed? Why do we need exposure to our scriptures? Is because all the time you're dealing in the world, and the world saps your energy because you're dealing with everything worldly. Open the newspaper, what happens? Open any newspaper. Is it happy? Huh? Everywhere. Rapes, crimes, this one is bombed, that one is murdered, this one is molested, this one. Are you happy? You're not happy. So every time you read that news, you need to be armored from that news. So you may ask me, why are you telling this? Because we don't perpetrate any crime. We are not perpetrating any crime. This is for you to be prepared. Philosophy of Vedanta is all about preparation, and preparation. So therefore, with the intellect, what do? You think. You take in this philosophy. Otherwise, in the world, you will find that there is only gossip. Newspaper means gossip. Was understand that, please? Sir is laughing. Sir, in India, do you know what is the fastest mode of communication? I don't know what here. In India, do you know? Gossip. Who said that? WhatsApp. In India, which is like everywhere, the fastest mode of communication, first we say, tell a phone. Correct? Telephone is a telephone, which is everywhere. Second fastest is television. Television. Vision means television. That phone, it does only audio, but the vision gives the vision. You know what is the third fast in India? What? Anyone? Anji? Third fastest? No. Third fastest is tell a woman. And you know what is faster than that? Huh? You know what? Today is going to be 5G. Omji, what is the fastest here? 5G. The 5G. There is nothing. The faster than tell a woman is, you know what? Tell a woman and tell her not to tell anyone. That will be even faster. Just tell Indian lady, Lord, please, I'm telling you something, but don't tell anyone. Everywhere it will do. Rasar Bhatri. Huh? So, gossip. You need to shift your focus. When you do Gayatri Mantra, you need to shift your focus. The temples, what a beautiful temple all these Hindus have created here. Hats off to you. Really hats off. But that temple needs to be given, the symbols need a philosophy behind it. You must educate the youngsters on the philosophy behind the temple. Because merely a temple is like wearing a wedding ring and having no value for your partner. So intellectually you have to gain this philosophy and understand how do you keep the value, the Hindu values alive. Because Hinduism is the only one of the religions which is never conflicts with, which never conflicts with any other religion. I don't know about now. It is meant never. It's not a conflicting religion. I'm not saying other religions are conflicting. I'm not saying any other religion is conflicting. It is the teachers, they create conflict. So philosophy is that you need to practice through the intellect. And once you practice that through the intellect, you will find there will be no gossip. You will talk less, reflect more. You will act more, you will meetings less. Everybody, I'm in a meeting. I'm in a Zoom call. Latest a Zoom call. I'm in a Zoom call. I'm in a Zoom call. Meeting. See, learn this from the great. You don't sit and gossip. For what? Why are you wasting time? A youngster went to Socrates. He said, oh Socrates, you all know Socrates is a great philosopher. He went to Socrates and said, oh Socrates, oh sir, I want to tell you something about my friend. To which Socrates said, see, these men are full of wisdom. They have a way of teaching. They have a way of communicating. To which Socrates said, hold on. You want to tell something to me about my friend? He said, yes. Okay, let's do the 3-filter test. So this young boy said, oh my God, what is the 3-filter test? He said, what you are telling me about my friend, have you verified if it's the truth? He said, no, sir. Okay. Second test, if what you're telling me about my friend is not the truth, is it something good? Oh, he said, no, sir, it's not good. Okay, fine. If it's not truthful, if it's not the good, what you're telling me about my friend, is it going to benefit you or me? He said, no, sir. He said, now why are you telling me? He said, I don't want to know. So, with the intellect, you need to take this knowledge. See, Plato says, beautiful say, we can easily forgive. Watch the boat. We can easily forgive a child who's afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men means collective. He's using it collectively, men and women, and he, she. Okay? Those who does not want to be identified as a man or a woman, because we are in the United States. Men are afraid of the light. Masterpiece. We can easily forgive a child who's afraid of the dark. A child who's afraid of the dark can be easily forgiven. But the problem comes when adults, men and women, are afraid of the light. So therefore, friends, knowledge is absolutely important. And at the level, so we've completed the body, mind and intellect at the level of spirituality. You must understand one thing. Spirituality only introduces yourself to yourself. Every religion in the world is talking about that what is beyond the world. That what is, whether it's Allah, whether it's Father in heaven. In Hinduism, he says Brahman, in Atman. Everybody is confused at why there are so many gods, why there are so many goddesses, why there are so many deities in Hinduism. It's for a meaning. Now I can't get into that because that is itself a 1-hour lecture. So the spirituality is all about, for example, in Christianity, he says the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit, he says, is what? Knowledge. Every religion talks about knowledge. This is Christianity. In Islam, he says Al-Alim. Al-Alim, he says. What is Al-Alim? Knowing. That which God wants you to know. Again, knowledge. In Buddhism, he says Vidya. Vidya is knowledge. And why? Because they're suffering. As I started the talk by saying, why should they suffer? When the pure light is within us. In Hinduism, it is Saraswati. God is Saraswati. And that Saraswati is nothing but fostering us with knowledge. And it takes us to the divine source, which is Brahman or Atman, the light within you. So, just to conclude, the key points, what keep you in ignorance, practically I'm talking. How should you approach practically? Never believe that I know. Take that I know out. The moment you say I know, the moment you say I know, learning stops. Shravana stops. You ask anybody, especially in Bombay or anywhere in India, you ask, are you know where Bandra is? Are Bandra? Sir, I'm telling you, 4-5 fellows will come. Boya. Or even in Delhi, where is Vasant Kunj? They say, Boya, 5 fellows. They want to hear, they're genuine. But actually, Vasant Kunj is that set. But when you ask him, how do you know? Arey sir, मैं बोल रहा हूँ. मैं बोल रहा हूँ means are you Einstein? He thought, I'm telling you, sir. So I know, never ever believe you know anything. Always listen to a child. Look at here, when I see people interacting with children, they listen to a child. Therefore, it is called hearing loss. See, everybody hears, nobody listens. Therefore, in the medical parlance, it's called hearing loss. They never say listening loss, because listening is always internal, hearing is external. So, practical tip is, no, I know. I know hinders knowledge. Ego is another hindrance. That ego, you put yourself as though you have a status. You are something, a chairman of an organization. My host told me this morning, he said, sir, I met two brothers long time back, and I was gone there for a job, and that one younger brother treated me so beautifully. I was wondering, my God, I'm seeking a job and he's treating me so beautifully, because he was the managing director. But when the chairman came, he was tossing me around. Hey, you go and sit there. Hey, you go and sit there. In India. Then he realized, see, there are great qualities of Americans also. Here, how we treat people. Not that in India now you treat people badly, but we have that. That I am this, I am an H, and that's a poor person. No, treat everyone equal. So practically, that ego comes in between. And the third thing to combat ignorance, the third thing to combat darkness is the most stateliest quality is complacency. Do not be complacent. I am okay. I am fine. There's no I am okay, I am fine. Strive to see what you can do next. These are the three deadly aspects. And how do you take knowledge? Just as I'm giving you points to how to combat ignorance. But how do you gain knowledge? You can never gain knowledge, because knowledge is your original, the ultimate knowledge is your original state. That light is your original state. Then what can you do? You can only remove ignorance. How do you remove ignorance? By tackling your desires, by removing your desires. Man minus desires equals God. God plus desires equals man. Now, do you have to give up everything? You will say, no, you don't have to give up everything. In our Hindu Shastras, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, no need to give up anything. Now what do? Take up something higher. To tackle your lower desires, take up something higher. A flower matures into a fruit. The petals of the flower fall away, but emerges a fruit. A youngster matures into an adult. The young qualities of that goes. His young qualities, his mischief could be there. But he doesn't play with toys anymore. He had bigger toys. He grows up into something. So grow into something higher, the lower automatically drops on it. That is renunciation. That is tyag, not big things. And lastly, the only way to practice, the moment you are suffering with anything, tell yourself, I don't think this is it. This is it. Neti. Negation. Anything in the world, if you're suffering, I don't think this is the truth. I don't think this is the truth. Negate everything, you will assert everything automatically. Since I think this hall is called the Vivekananda. Is this called the Vivekananda Auditorium? I would like to, since I'm standing here next to this great man, I would like to end this talk by one of his greatest quotations. Ignorance is the mother of all the evil and all the misery we see. Let men have light. Let them be pure and spiritually strong and educated. Then alone will misery cease in the world, not before. We may convert every house in the country into a charity asylum. We may fill the land with hospitals, but misery of man will still continue to exist until man's character changes. From darkness to light, from ignorance to knowledge. Use your intellect and grow. Thank you very much.